Hey guys, Digitech Lifestyle here, back with another video. This was predicted way back in January 2023 at Davos, and this is by the World Economic Forum. And I've got a couple of videos to play you where Jim Rickards is one of them, and another guy who appeared on the Black Swan Capitalist show, and he has a video as well where they talk about this whole economic crisis that's coming. I'm not going to play you the whole video, but I'm going to take parts where they talk about the recession and play you those parts, and then I will link to those videos in the description, because you know what, people need to understand what is coming, and see, well, listen to it from themselves, from the horse's mouth, and listen to why they preface why they say what they say, and understand what you see in the global system right now. And if you do your own research, and Jim Rickards says in parts of the video, and I'm not going to play you that part because I just want to play where he says there's a recession, where he talks about the treasury bonds, the US market, how that's, you know, everything's just going to collapse at one possible point, possibly. I don't know if that is likely to happen, if that is the plan, to collapse things. I don't know. All I can say is it doesn't look very good for the US at the moment. If that falls, if the US dollar falls, or whatever happens in that, or they close down the market, or they close down the government, that could have repercussions for people in the US and abroad. Anyway, so in Davos, Switzerland, 17th of January 2023, a majority of World Economic Forum's community of chief economists expect a global recession in 2023. They see geographical, political tensions shaping the global economy, and furthermore monetary tightening in the United Kingdom and the United States and Europe. Okay, so let me go get that video for you guys. Hold on. Here's Jim Rickards, and he's going to explain what he sees happening. I'm not going to play you the whole thing, so hold on.
They see what I see. They see what I'm describing. That is, the recession is going to be very severe. The global financial crisis is coming. I'll just kind of wrap up quickly with Japan, Europe, and Canada. They're all technically in recession right now. Not extreme, but it's the thin end of the wedge. As winter comes, the impact of higher energy prices kicks in. Energy prices have already soared in Europe. Oil is a world market. You can get, there's 72 kinds of oil based on viscosity and sulfur content, etc. That's not true of natural gas. Natural gas is much more of a regional market. It depends on infrastructure, pipelines, hubs, distribution channels, sources, etc. Very hard to move. The UK Special Forces operating really at the behest of the United States blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. It really looks like war on Germany. It's an active war by UK against Germany. We've seen that twice in the 20th century. We know how that turns out. That was done to remove Germany's options to make a separate peace or accommodation with Russia. So Germany's desperate. You'll hear, oh, hey, Germany has their gas reserves are up to 100%. Their natural gas reserves are at 100%. But what they don't tell you is that the natural gas reserves are only 20% of what they need. They have 100% of 20%. How are you going to get through the winter? There's every reason to expect this will be a bitterly cold winter. You're looking at extreme energy shortages. Thermostats in Germany are going to be set at 50 degrees Fahrenheit. They're going to have to ration fuel between industry and home use. There's not enough to go around. There won't be. Europe had announced a major natural gas deal with Qatar. Qatar was going to supply the EU with natural gas. And again, you got to read the whole story, read the fine print. It said, yeah, and it will be ready by 2026.
I don't know what to say, are we heading for horrible times or what? I mean, is this a plan for every single human being on the planet at the moment? Well, apart from those who have the gas and the oil and all that kind of stuff, but to wait till 2026 before they solve this problem. This problem could be solved a long time ago. We didn't have to be here, but we are. Here's from the Black Swan Capitalist, and you're going to hear from Dr. Jim Willie, who's going to take his take on BRICS, currencies, XRP, and the role of the economy, and well, it's basically news, right? But under news, what he sees. But I'm not going to play you the whole video. I'm just going to play you where he says about the recession. Let me play.
Well, we're in a recession where our economy is declining by 10 to 15% a year. Okay. Why do I think that? Well, we're claiming that price inflation is like 4%, 5%, when actually it's 15. And it's going to head toward 30.
Interesting.
Okay? If we lie, and let's just keep it simple. If we say the government says it's 5%, it's really 15%.
Yeah.
And then they say that we're in a plus 1% economic growth. Well, the lie is 10%, so we're minus 9.
Yeah, makes sense.
The lie in the price inflation is the same lie in economic growth.
Yeah.
Therefore, if we're even, we're at minus 12 or minus 14% in a recession. And we're making up for it by printing money. You know, something very interesting happened, and I love this little quick anecdote. The bankers did severe damage, were given severe damage by the doctors. They locked down the economy. That made loan repayment very difficult. That made banks' insolvency much worse.
This is one of the things I found very strange about that period, and I have to be honest here. Was this all done deliberately? Because it's ridiculous to think that that took place. You know, the whole lockdown, everybody shut in their houses. That did not make sense to me, and I'll be 100% honest on that. It never made sense, not one bit.
But they had two back-to-back COVID stimulus plans in 2021 and early 2022 worth a total of $9 trillion with the stipulation that the details would not be made public for 18 months. So in very late 2022 and early 2023, we learned about what I call the big bank welfare, called the COVID stimulus. Now, because it's been revealed they can't do it again, and now the banks are failing from damage done by the lockdown. The doctors did fatal damage to the bankers. Let that sink in. The doctors forced the lockdown. That caused fatal damage to the banks. And now the big banks cannot recover. There's no recovery to the economy. You can hear Trump talk all he wants about the economy strengthening. It's a pack of bullshit, because the lie in the price inflation is at least 10%. We got a little relaxation in the price inflation, but now we've got a global boycott / dumping of the Treasury bond, which means we have to monetize it. We have to print money to cover the federal U.S. government debts. And it's not really, pardon me, losing my voice. It's not really a shocking statement, but it's a little bit of a surprise for people to hear. I believe we're in a U.S. government default right now. Do you remember, Verson, that it was about 4 months ago? They did not make a new debt limit. They said, we're going to make it a sliding ceiling. Well, that's what you do when you're in a default.
I really think this all ties into what the BRICS nations is doing and their impact on the U.S. dollar. I think there's a lot of complex issues here, but this might sound strange, the way I'm starting to see things as I really immerse myself in all of this information is that what's happening in the global economy appears to be a carefully orchestrated transnational agenda. And I think this initiative is really aimed at reshaping the global financial system and doing this gradually to maybe raise some awareness and wake people up a bit, but to avoid sudden panic. And I know that sounds a bit far-fetched, but what are your thoughts on what I just said and I guess the BRICS nations?
Let me ask you a question. Who's the architect of, I call it a reset, restructuring. Who's the architect? The cabal or the White Alliance?
Breaking news on Sky News and welcome. All the European Union citizens no longer need to work. That's the
Sorry, there's an ad. I'm not sure if that's real or not, but I'm not going to carry on with that particular. I'm going to skip that bit there.
Well, I don't have an answer to that, honestly. I don't know. If I could guess, and that's kind of what I was going to ask you next, is how okay. I believe that you're
going to throw it on me. That hard question again. Put back. Okay.
I mean, I think they're all in it together, and right. It's all a show.
Well, all right. I have an unusual way of looking at things. For the last 20 years, who was in power? The cabal or the White Alliance? It's the cabal. So who's going to try to reshape the structure in order to retain power? The cabal. What do they need to do that? They need their instrument. They need their weapon, the dollar. What is going away? The dollar.
The dollar.
The dollar / treasury bond. When I say dollar, think the backside is the treasury bond.
They're panicking.
So the BRICS are all about a new system.
Yes.
Non-dollar. De-dollarized to get to the non-dollar system. So the BRICS are all about a new power structure. So the BRICS, I believe, are a White Alliance union.
Interesting. And I've heard
I believe Trump has a hand. I believe Trump has a hand.
You mean he's involved?
In the BRICS. In the BRICS.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I believe Trump, by means of the Space Force, worked out a deal where the Russians would clean out Ukraine. And let's keep it above board and just say, get rid of all the underground money laundering, etc. Let's just say that that's Russia's job. And they're doing a really good job. Let's leave it alone, though, okay? So you've got the old guard with the dollar, and you got the new guard with the de-dollarized and gold token with the BRICS. And they're clashing. So the restructure is to be attempted. Key word, attempted by the cabal. The new structure is going to be attempted by the cabal.
Meaning they're going to try their CBDC, that kind of stuff there, their walled gardens where they control everything, where they can print money at will, etc., etc. That system, no, we cannot have that system. That system has failed. It's failed. And listen to what he says about the dollar. You can't back paper by having paper again. This is something else that's in his video. He talks about, I implore you people to go watch the Black Swan Capitalists on YouTube and watch their take on what they see happening in this market.
And it will fail. The new structure will also have an alternative with the BRICS, and it will succeed because it's not the dollar. There's a Austrian school of economics principle, I call it the corollaries, principles, pillars, that a failed paper currency cannot have a new paper currency to replace it. It must be metal. You go from paper, in 1971, we went from metal to paper. Now we're going to go from paper to metal, and the cabal cannot be in charge. It's almost like a von Mises additional corollary that's mine. The architects of the paper currency cannot be in the room for creating and designing the new system. So the cabal cannot be architects for the BRICS new non-dollar gold system. And the BRICS have been infiltrated by the cabal from China, the Chinese door. And that's what's so remarkable about the Johannesburg, aka Joburg, BRICS meeting last month. President Xi had his bodyguards arrested.
Listen, it is not.
Oh, these adverts. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on. See, some of the things he said there, you're not hearing in the news, right? Where President Xi had security guards arrested. Now, listen again. Oh, go back. Sorry.
From metal to paper. Now we're going to go from paper to metal, and the cabal cannot be in charge. It's almost like a von Mises additional corollary that's mine. The architects of the paper currency cannot be in the room for creating and designing the new system. So the cabal cannot be architects for the BRICS new non-dollar gold system. And the BRICS have been infiltrated by the cabal from China, the Chinese door. And that's what's so remarkable about the Johannesburg, aka Joburg, BRICS meeting last month. President Xi had his bodyguards arrested.
He had his bodyguards arrested.
President Xi had his keynote speech obstructed. It was given by his Commerce Secretary to a near half-empty audience. The BRICS told China, we're not interested in your agenda for banks. We're all about de-dollarize, and that is as far as you can go.
So this is, I don't know how to explain. I don't think people realize what is actually happening, the transformation that is taking place right now, the de-dollarization, the old system is crumbling right before our eyes, and I don't think people get it. I don't think we're seeing all these floods and all this destruction and all that kind of stuff. Yes, it could be climate change, but could it not be attributed to seeding the weather like they do and all that kind of stuff? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it off with a video from an XRP hold on, news article and video from Ripple and what Ripple is doing, and it basically says the world isn't becoming digital, it's already gone digital. And really basically what I gather from this is we need regulations to just step up. But anyway, listen to some of what he has to say. It's 10 minutes long. I might make it through, I might not. I might put a link into the video for this one as well, because I think you guys need to go, you know, and read from payments and understand what's taking place in the financial world. Anyway, let me play it.
Ray, senior reporter here at Payments. Joining me today is Brad Chase, head of liquidity products at Ripple. Thanks for joining us today, Brad.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
And today we're talking about an exciting topic, crypto for e-commerce and merchant payments. And so, kind of diving right into that, what do you, see as some of the main characteristics of the current crypto ecosystem for e-commerce and merchant payments? Where is there room for improvement?
The crypto is, digitally native global asset. And so if you think about e-commerce and merchants, those are digitally native and increasingly digital ways that we use payments, particularly coming out of the pandemic where there's this huge shift to e-commerce, globally, just growing space. And so opportunities for improvement there are leveraging this, truly digitally native asset class of cryptocurrencies. And so that's both for end users and consumers that have crypto that want to start buying goods and services with it, but then also the efficiencies that you get in operating these businesses. So that is kind of the underlying payment infrastructure and rails. Crypto has that same kind of capability to simplify, streamline, and bring this technological paradigm shift to those operations as well. So it's really a twofold opportunity to improve e-commerce and merchant payments.
Awesome. Then, maybe building a little bit on that last point, kind of, about the e-commerce players and the merchants, how do crypto payments help meet their top needs?
So you can think about kind of this whole new kind of customer segment that's emerging. So these are the digitally native, tech savvy, people who grow up using the internet, grew up using digital, the PayPals and payment services of the world. Those same consumers now hold crypto and they want to use that for payments. And so to be a player in this space and to tap into these new markets, you want to be able to accept those assets as part of your merchant or payment flows. So you have luxury brands like Gucci that are starting to do that. It's a way that you can differentiate and show you're kind of leaning into innovation as a brand like that and retain these audience. And really, it's kind of being where the customers are and where the consumers are going to be in terms of, research shows that holders of crypto, they want to use it to be able to buy goods and services in the same way that they use other assets they hold. So really having a kind of reliable, secure way to do that for them is really the way to be.
Awesome. And then, when you think of the ideal crypto payment experience, what are some of the characteristics needed, to support this?
Well, part of why crypto is very appealing is this infrastructure layer, is that it's always on, globally available, 24/7, 365. And so that's just kind of a big shift in the way that kind of legacy financial systems and rails work. At the same time, the technology layer still needs a layer of liquidity to be able to tap into that. So you need those counterparties that are willing to exchange. If you have Bitcoin, somebody needs euros. You need somebody that does that exchange and people that are being there for you. And so that's where products like Liquidity Hub that my team built at Ripple come in. So the technology is there, maybe the kind of seamlessness of integrating with exchanges, managing smart routing and treasury isn't there. And so if you're an enterprise that doesn't want to go solve those largely undifferentiated challenges, you just really want to go solve your business and have crypto be a part of it, being able to tap into these types of products lets you kind of get that globally available 24/7, 365, but maybe not have to deal with some of the kind of growing pains of crypto as a payment system.
Totally. And then, when we're talking about, crypto payments, so what's the ideal time or, moment to make that purchase using this asset? And, how is it different from maybe traditional or also other, innovative payment vehicles? And also, where is it the same?
Yeah, so like any new technology, it starts coming from similar things that exist. So the same types of ways that you think about payment rails, the same different flows of which you have a normal payment, they map into crypto as well. But I think the places where they start to differentiate is, traditional payments, particularly global cross-border ones, very slow, expensive. You've got long settlement times, multiple days, even months. You've got lots of intermediaries to kind of de-risk those settlement challenges and counterparty risks. And that becomes fees, it becomes friction, it becomes inefficiencies. And so, the way I think about, crypto here is crypto is almost this magical public shared infrastructure that lets you get rid of a lot of that. And so now is certainly the time to start thinking about this, depending on how your business operates and maybe just learning or maybe actually trying to adopt these technologies. But the benefit here is, as you start to remove those intermediaries, you get more efficiencies, you get cost savings, you can get both a better customer experience, but then lower costs that you can pass on to your customers.
And this will hopefully, if accepted or we are already digital, so sorry. When it's when it's globally initiated, shall I say? That's what I should say. When the system and the laws and the regulations catch up with the technology, then we will see the transformation. And we're hearing testing going on in Dubai with XRP, and you will see that on the Black Swan Capitalist website, our YouTube channel. I implore you guys to go and have a look. I will put links in the description. Do check lifestyle out. I hope this wasn't too long, but hey, information. It's what's going on in the world right now. People need to wake up. Take care. Bye.